I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Courtside Soundoff podcast. Once again, I'm Josh Off. As always, welcome by the one and only man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, my friend and yours, Angel Ortega. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this week. UFC 320, UFC Rio, as well as a few other bits of news we'll go ahead and discuss. As always, they're brought to you by a few sponsors of the show, Rogue Energy, ELYXR, and BetMGM. Rogue Energy keeps me fueled up whether I'm at home, I'm at the gym, or I'm watching the Chiefs fall to 2-3 on a Monday night. Either way, they help me get there.
You think the defense folded, right?
Yeah, the defense folded. Well, and Harrison Butker had such a massive role in the loss. I mean, people forget. You're thinking like, what did he do wrong? People forget, man. That final drive, they only had to drive like what? I mean, what's the rule? So if you kick it off as a kicker on the kickoff and it goes out of bounds, that's a 15-yard penalty on top of where they would normally be. So I think the Jags started at their own 45. So they only had to drive half the field as opposed to drive from the 30. You know what I mean? That's besides the point. We got to put his ass in the kitchen, man. I'm just saying, man. You can't be a kicker. You can't be a kicker in the National Football League and have one job and miss one kick every single game and then retain your job. It just can't happen.
He's had a rough year.
He's been pretty bad. I think there's a joke I want to make really, really bad. I'm not. So, just know that I'm trying really, really hard right now to be very, very PC. So yeah. Anyways.
I don't know how you felt about Butker right now.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about it off air, but yeah, I mean, like you can't miss a kick every single game. You can't. As a kicker,
is he even streaking that bad? It's been
one
game right now?
He missed one kick every game except for I think against the Ravens he missed two of them. He missed a field goal and an extra point. I think
you're right. It's crazy because he was like hella consistent for like
for a few years there. Yeah, I mean, and now he's just you can't. I mean, through 5 games he has 1 to 2 really bad blunders each game, and you can't have that as a kicker.
That's the key to being like a good NFL kicker, right? Consistency. Maybe you don't get the farthest kicks. Maybe you won't hit
and a big part of it,
55ers every time.
And a big part of it too is the yips. A lot of kickers will just like get in their own head, and then like once they get into their own head, they can't get out of it. Or sometimes guys will literally switch teams, like because they just can't stop missing kicks. Then they'll show up somewhere else, and they're just back to normal.
Dude, I saw that. What was it? Let me think. I was watching like worst like NFL game weather conditions, dude. I saw like the windy games, bro, and the ball would like curve around the post. They would have to adjust for the wind, and like it would go in, but it was some crazy ass shit.
Yeah,
there was the one where the goalpost was fucking like falling to the side, dude, because it was so windy.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty crazy.
The passes were fucked. Crazy. You couldn't pass the ball. Pretty sure they had to run the ball pretty much the entire game. Just because the wind was that strong.
Yeah.
Like, it was some crazy ass shit.
Well, that's the thing about football that makes football so much more interesting. And that's why I think, like, if they keep on going down this path of everybody getting a dome, like, it's going to ruin the game. Because that's what makes football, bro. Those crazy weather games, the snow coming down or the rain coming down. It's like, there's nothing better than a fall day at Arrowhead Stadium. Whenever the sun is shining, it's a solid 65, 70 degrees, We're beating up on the Raiders or some shit.
I mean, I get it. It is like, it'd be a nice factor to get rid of, but it is a nice factor at times because it does provide like some level of entertainment.
And I get why, as like an NFL team, you'd want a dome over an open air stadium for a lot of reasons. Because then you can have more concerts there. You can become a multiple use venue.
Less delays too, right?
Less delays, no weather delays. There's a lot of reasons why you'd want to do it. I still hate it though. I still think it sucks, and I think like Chiefs are probably going to get it done within the next 10 years. I think and that's gonna suck.
I respect your honesty though.
Yeah, no, I'm just being honest. Like, because like for the way I think about it, like that Dolphins game from like 2 years ago, where it was like -5 and the wind chill was -26 or some shit. That's fucking football. Man.
Them boys
the boys were out there.
But take into account, it's a Midwest team versus Florida.
Oh yeah, and you know what was so funny during the week. Because if you're not in the Midwest, you don't get it. Like people who like they think they understand what it's like, they don't understand what it's like. Like I saw during that week, people were being like, "Dude, like it's going to be a -26 wind chill. It won't make a difference. It's going to be -4 in actuality. That's going to be so cold that neither team will have an advantage." And it's like, dude, if one team is practicing in like 15-degree weather versus the other one playing in a dome, like practicing in 65-degree weather. The team that played the 15, that's still going to matter more. You know what I mean? Like they're more, equipped for it, even if it's not -5 like it was on game day. Like I don't know. That's just besides the point. Yeah, but that's the reason why football I appreciate it. Like you gotta have that open air.
Yeah.
But also turf sucks. Let's just be honest about it. Who are we kidding, dude? Turf blows. Even in like MetLife Stadium, where like it's an open air stadium and they still have turf.
Doesn't it cause more injuries?
It does. I don't think they've ran a study or anything like that, but I think the overall consensus seems to be that they cause more injuries because like MetLife, for example, has like dudes tear. Like I swear to God, on MetLife for the Giants, somebody tears an ACL every week. It doesn't, whether it's on their team or somebody else. Like we just lost some league neighbors. And there's so many guys over the last, there's been, at least 1 to 2, massive superstar injuries at MetLife Stadium for the past 10 years. Every
That's
game.
sad.
Yeah. Not every game, but, every year. Between 1 and 3, just superstar injuries. That's not even including the guys nobody remembers.
I think the big reason they don't want, just normal grass, right?
Yeah.
Is because they don't want to deal with the maintenance.
Yep. And I think that's, dude, it sucks. It's dude, come on. Come on, dude. It's not that much. You guys are a multi-billion-dollar team. Just get a grass guy. Just hire one guy.
I actually don't know what the process is to taking care of that stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's a science to it and all that.
I've seen a couple of videos about it because I think the Chiefs have a guy whose entire job is just to keep maintaining the grass, just make sure. Shit. Yeah, exactly. All year round. So
that fucker probably gets paid well, dude.
Exactly, dude. Hire a guy like that.
Creating a job for someone.
Yeah,
dude. I know that Tottenham Hotspurs, their stadium, dude, their field, it goes down a layer. And they have robots that take care of that shit, and they cut it and all that.
It's crazy.
It's insane. So I mean, and granted, they have the money for that. They put them, but I'm sure some NFL teams, especially ones like in LA, Texas, and New York, that have a fuck ton of money, are more than capable of affording that.
Well, and you know what? It's gotten better, because they use turf now. They don't use
synthetic.
Yes, they use. I think it was called AstroTurf.
Because there's a difference for all this, right? Like synthetic, AstroTurf, turf, and then grass.
Yes, there's different. The total.
I don't know. I could be totally wrong here.
Total Astro. Oh man, hold on. Let me see. AstroTurf, the 90s. Because I feel like during the 90s, the NFL, it looked. They were just playing on concrete. Dude, look at that turf right there.
That shit just looks flat.
That's just a pad that's colored like grass. At least current turf looks and you feel it. You're I can see this is kind of like grass,
Mm-hmm.
Nah, dude, that shit was straight up just flat.
This,
yes, dude,
with a little texture.
Look at that. Dude, look, that is ridiculous.
You stepped wrong on that, dude, with a cleat, done.
Literally, dude, current turf is not good.
The thing is, people get stuck, right? There's instances where people get stuck.
It happens rarely, but it does happen. Yeah. AstroTurf is the thing that that's what that's called. And then there's the actual artificial turf, which is what I think
it looks more like grass.
Yes. And it looks so funny when you look at old 90s NFL when for example, it's the greatest show on turf, the Rams, they played in a dome. So anytime you look up old Rams highlights of them back in the day slinging the fucking ball, it looks hilarious because it looks like they're just playing on it just doesn't look real. It looks ridiculous. But man,
get rid of it in the end. Why'd they move on?
Because artificial turf, less injuries, looks better. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons for it.
It doesn't look like that tennis court green, that old school tennis court green.
Dude, that is the greatest way to put it. Yeah, that shit was tennis court green. That's what that was. That was a tennis court that they were playing football on, dude. Yeah. So yeah, they definitely needed a few ELYXRs needed a few ELYXR gummies after all the punishment they took back in the day, man, playing on that AstroTurf, and hopefully they use code Soundoff at checkout. Code Soundoff at checkout off of all their amazing Delta 8 products, Delta 9 products. And then BetMGM. Guys, following down below, if you would have listened to us, you would have actually been able to use this offer. Because I picked Magomed Ankalaev to win on Saturday. But if you followed my advice, but you also follow that link down below, you would have some bonus bets paid back to you up to $1,500 in bonus bets paid back if you do not hit on your first entry with BetMGM. If you follow the link down below, contact 1-800-GAMBLER if you're having any issues. If not, you want to have some fun with us, follow the link down below because there are fights this weekend. And even if there weren't fights, the NFL is going on. College football is going on. Not just that, guys, college football, NFL, college basketball about to be starting back up. You know, like you got a lot of stuff going on. NBA coming back. We're less than 2 weeks away. Have you realized that? No, exactly. I know that you don't. Phoenix Suns fan, I wouldn't care either. Anyways, I
haven't cared to watch. Dude. I told you, it was funny. They got good, and I stopped watching.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. Anyways, man,
I watched those horrific teams play.
Yeah, I remember back in the day whenever Book was putting up like 70 points because there was no other scoring option. You know,
that was end of the season though.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
That guy's still killing it. He might play guard this season, like point guard.
I mean, I feel bad for the guy. I just feel bad for Book.
We'll get one.
He went from
he's like 28.
Which is kind of crazy because he's going on 10 years in the league, yeah. But like I remember whenever in the bubble in 2020, whenever like they had like that 8-game winning streak and somehow almost snuck into the playoffs and shit. I remember thinking like, God, dude,
I feel like he's gonna sneak one.
Book's finally here, you know?
At least one. I have a weird feeling he's gonna sneak one somehow. If it's not here, somewhere else.
I don't think he's gonna leave Phoenix. I think if he were gonna leave Phoenix, it'd be this past offseason when they
got rid of he's a lifer now.
KD
he's gonna be a lifer.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm assuming. I mean if he's staying past KD and Beal, like in that whole failed super team.
Well, they've taken care of him. They've paid him. I'm sure there's been certain things or movements that he's at. And I'm sure he has leverage. And he's like, I want this player, I want these things, or I don't like this. Like he can get it done.
Oh, and then in the city of Phoenix, I'm sure they treat him like he's a god. You know, like I saw a video recently of like him just driving out and about, and some kid had like on a Booker jersey, and like he was like, "Oh shit, like, let me autograph your."
I'm noticing. I think he just likes Arizona too at this point.
Yeah,
it's warm. It's pretty easy to get around. I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been there so long. He's got everything he owns is there. You know, like he's pretty established there. If he wants to go to California, he could take a flight right there or drive.
Yep, Vegas
too, right there.
Yeah,
I'm assuming if he wants,
he's got to drive his fancy car somewhere, bro. He's got to drive the car collection now.
Dude, did you see that?
I did.
This man has some taste too.
Yeah, he's got some cool shit, man. I'll give him credit.
But cool. and even then, like if he wants to fly to Florida, that's not like a terribly bad flight. Like it's only if he's going like up north, like New York or anything like that, where maybe the flights are kind of shit.
Yeah.
But even then, it's not like he's traveling year round, anyways.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason why like if anybody could and anybody would want to live in Phoenix or in Arizona in general, because that shit is just.
Dude, it gets hot.
Yeah, like I have a buddy up there, and it is just. Like I walk down the street.
They hit 120 degrees, right?
Yeah, like walk down the street in flip flops, and your flip flops are sticking to the concrete.
Also, they got like really bad, like homeless and drug issue.
Oh, was he fucking man? Like I bet the heat. This is not even a joke. I guarantee you, the heat drives people crazy. Like it.
Oh no, it's a thing. Yeah, there's a reason people get angrier when it's hot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And half of we're in the never-ending summer.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I don't know if it's ever happened to you, but you ever been at your house and you're like, "Why is it fucking hot in the house?" And you like start stressing out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same exact thing.
Yeah, that's true. Can never but never in Arizona. Never gonna fucking jeez. Like especially with like dude, like it was like 90 here. Like
also, they don't have basements too.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know that.
I did not know that.
They don't have basements there's no basements in Arizona.
It's crazy to me how some places just don't have basements. Because to us in the Midwest,
there's a reason for it. I don't know why, but I think Florida, right? That's another one they don't.
Yeah, I think so.
Anything near the water like that, they try not to. I'm pretty sure, just because of flooding. I think.
Yeah, and I mean it's just crazy because like us in the Midwest, it's like that's like second nature. Like you gotta have a basement, dude. Like come on, what are you gonna do? You know,
dude. Not even just that, but like fucking a finished basement, dude, is like a luxury. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Oh my god, dude! Like you know,
like you got a finished basement.
You got a finished basement.
You're like fuck yeah, dude.
Throw a TV on a wall, grab a couple of couches. You know, like,
dude. Yeah, just another bedroom in some people's eyes, dude.
Exactly. You got a cool little pad.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's not a lot of house designers like this, but mine's like this, but where there's like a side door that goes downstairs, and there's a whole essentially another house there. Yeah. Like there's a house upstairs, and then downstairs there's a living room, bedroom, and maybe even a kitchen.
That's the way my mom's old house was. Like it kind of like there's a whole downstairs with like a like 2 rooms, and there's like a bathroom, whatever, and then they have the stairs. You go up the stairs, boom, it's the same setup up there. You know what I mean?
It's the shit.
Yeah, exactly. I feel we should move on. This is my favorite part of the show is like the 20 minutes till we get off topic, but
it's crazy because it's a good card. It's a good recap.
Genuinely. It is. It's a good.
And
one.
The preview is fire.
So we're gonna start off. Which, by the way, YouTube, giving us the business. So I apologize to all. Actually, I'll start off with this. Apologies to the YouTube
I saw
watchers.
that. I didn't message
It
you
was
back.
a YouTube issue. It said that the upload failed. I don't know why. And with the way Podbean works, you can't go back and reset it and resend it. So hopefully this week it's back to normal. If not, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna reset it on Podbean and hope that we can get the upload date back to Thursday. So that way, if it messes up again, I have like a day or two of time to fix it.
To upload it.
Yeah. So that's the plan. But that's besides the point, because UFC 320 going down from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada.
That was Nevada?
It was.
I thought
Vegas.
this was in Chirac for some reason.
What?
Chimaev
No,
and Drake was in Chirac.
That's true. It wasn't Chirac. Yeah. Yeah, man. Alex Pereira defeating Magomed Ankalaev inside of 90 seconds. He walked across that cage, and from the second that the fight started, it was you just knew. You know what I mean? Like there are fights that happen often. I use the examples of Conor and Eddie. You know what I mean? That's the big one I think of, where a fight starts. Ngannou, Stipe 2. A fight starts and you know one way that there's only one way this fight's going, and one guy is just gonna get annihilated. And Alex Pereira running across the cage and landing that big right hand within 3 seconds, and Magomed Ankalaev immediately, almost like, I don't want to say he was afraid, but this is the closest I've seen to a fighter being afraid of another fighter in a fight, especially in a rematch. He went out there and he put the pressure on him. Magomed Ankalaev just stayed behind the black line, looked like he just didn't know what to do. You could say it was stage fright. It was, he shit his pants. Whatever you want to say, he froze. It was a gone against John type performance. Alex Pereira just landed a couple of big shots. Ankalaev goes down. Elbows, and new. Angel, give me your thoughts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look, if it did happen, I didn't think it was going to be like that. I wanted it to be much more drawn out. I thought Alex was going to have to do a lot more. I mean, what a perfect way to recapture the title. It's funny. This was like, in a very different way, it was his reverse Adesanya moment, where he's the one doing it to a guy instead of him receiving it. And even him having his, signature celebration of the delivery of point, being like, here it is. This is what I've done,
Yeah.
So you couldn't have done it any better. I don't know if this is going to like fully bring back that Poetan hype train. I think it certainly helped it.
Oh, yeah.
But people definitely were turned off. People weren't as excited. It was definitely like, for a little while there, you could not escape the Shama madness or the Poetan madness if you were a MMA fan. And I don't know if it's back in full effect yet. I haven't even looked at the embedded to see how they've done, how they performed.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine they did well, but this is a nice treat, man.
Yeah. It was a very nice treat. The UFC needed this fight. They needed this win worse than anything else, dude. And they've obviously had kind of a star power kind of problem, which you can obviously say, but even just beyond that, I don't think they've had a big highlight like this in a while. Like you for example, whenever Chimaev fought DDP recently, you're kind of hoping for that big highlight. Didn't really happen. Holloway Poirier was a really fun fight, but you didn't really get that big social viral moment. You probably have to go back to Ilya and Oliveira, Yeah, what's up?
So on YouTube right now, they upload the knockout.
Yeah.
It has 11 million views in 3 days.
Is that more or less than I bet if you sort of by like most popular, I bet you can find. I remember what's the other comparison? Sean O'Malley against Aljo. Didn't they do that?
I don't know if they uploaded it. I can certainly look it up.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's
just
pretty
kind of
crazy. Though.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Yeah, I mean MMA is not a massive sport, but Alex Pereira is probably the biggest active story that we have, and this is such a big highlight. This is something that we needed. This is something that
It's tied. It's the exact same.
Yeah, okay, there
11
we go.
million
All right,
as well.
There we go. All right, interesting. Okay.
Are you actually surprised? I feel like you're surprised.
I am, because I actually thought Poetan was a bigger star than Sean O'Malley, but also it's been 3 days.
I mean, I didn't expect 11. Like that's pretty. I mean, granted, the fight's long enough to put in a minute.
Yeah.
Like it's literally a minute long video.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm actually in shock about that. I did not realize it was that much.
Yeah, I mean, man, it makes sense. I mean, he is such a one of one. He is such a legend. And it's one of those things where it's like, I am not somebody who, if you followed this show for a while, I've never been a big Poetan guy. Like, I've liked him. I loved the run where he was fighting, last year, like every 2 weeks, basically. You know what I mean? Like, whenever that run where he was just fighting so often, I loved that. But for the most part, I've never really been a big Alex Pereira guy in that way. And whenever he fought Magomed Ankalaev last time, it almost felt like I was getting confirmation bias to like, oh, I knew this guy like was going to struggle whenever he fought somebody who had any semblance of grappling. And yes, did Magomed Ankalaev have allegedly a broken rib heading into this fight? Yes. Could you argue that like he, a lot of the onus of this loss is on him? It's not really as much Alex Pereira kind of going forward and just having this great strategy. It's the fact that this championship fighter who had won like 18 fights in a row or something just shit his pants. I do think it's that too, but look, dude, the way he went in there and just ran through him, that's championship caliber greatness. That's just in shock. Like there's no other way you can say
he went for it.
He went for it, dude. Like he went in there, was like, you know what, I'm gonna take my fucking belt back. And I really do think sometimes in fighting, half of the battle is the mental aspect of it. And Magomed Ankalaev went in there expecting a hard 25-minute fight like last time, and Alex Pereira went in there like, I'm gonna just take my belt back right now. Mm-hmm. And I do think that played a massive role. And I feel like we should talk about what's next, because he gets on the mic and he pays tribute to John Jones. Ultimately, his brother Arthur did pass away this past week at 39 years old. Thoughts and prayers and all that to the Jones family. Feel bad for them. But he did say that he was thinking about like calling out John Jones before that happened. It feels like Alex Pereira, John Jones, is now right back into the conversation for the White House, happening June 14th. Now, and by the way, Angel, it went from July 4th to celebrate the nation's birthday to June 14th to celebrate Donald Trump's birthday, which is just so funny.
He has to have a big birthday party.
81-year-old man. I gotta have my own birthday party. Just so funny. But anyways, so Angel, I'll ask you for the UFC White House thing. Is that a fight that interests you? Because it feels like we're at a point where it's like, okay, realistic main event options. Something involving Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz, Michael Chandler. I don't know.
I still think that's more likely.
Yeah, I agree with you. Or it's John Jones, Alex Pereira. Those seem to be the only two options right now.
Well, for one, Dana kind of already came out and kind of wrote off the idea of Poatan fighting at heavyweight. So that kind of already kind of puts that on ice a bit.
Dana never lies.
I mean, that too. But still, he seemed decently adamant. Yeah. It wasn't like he didn't just was like, I don't know. But he seemed to write it off pretty decisively. And then another thing, dude, I mean, that fight kind of seemed, that was one fight that I was looking forward to a lot. Like, I felt like if he beat Ankalaev, you remember I was kind of like being like, hey, man, if he gets that one, fight John next. Aim for a John fight. I was kind of already wanting a John fight anyways. Like, I was like, go big or go home. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just do it. What's the worst that's going to happen? You already have a short time in the sport. You've already done a lot of great things. No one's going to shit on you for trying to get a third title fight at heavyweight against arguably the greatest fighter of all time and not come out on top. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's not going to affect Poatan's legacy a lot. But if he does do it, it's going to raise his level a lot, So I'm happy to see that it's back on the table. Does it happen? I don't have any idea if it does or doesn't. I would need more things to come out. I would need more things to come out of Dana to kind of confirm it. And essentially, like, dude, we don't have any fight announcements for next year really at all. Like, we'll get to that later. And I don't even know if you have it in the rumor mill, but we have, there's talks of Justin Gaethje, ELYXR that have come out on Twitter. Granted, that's Twitter. But as far as like for what's planned for the Paramount year, we don't really know yet because we don't know how that format and all that's going to function. We don't know how hard they're going to go on that, how much they're going to stack these cards. So that's why I'm really hesitant to say if that fight's going to happen or not. Because I don't imagine it being at this time being an option. Funny enough, I still think we're probably going to get some iteration of like Conor Nate or Conor Chandler, which is crazy to even think that's even a possibility. And shit, dude, maybe even Ronda at this point. Like now, you've been asking for years. So
you know what's funny? I think that is not the correct way to illustrate it. I have not been asking for it. I've just been noticing.
No, I think you want it. I think your MMA nerd boner secretly wants Ronda to come back.
I think it'd be good for the sport.
They should just make Misha fight Ronda. She only wants to fight like one more time.
I think that would make sense.
Just have the trilogy.
Or I mean, didn't they see Gina Carano or something? But like, I don't.
Nah.
I feel like that's pushing it a bit.
Gina's been so far removed from the game.
Gina last fought in 2012. Like, I think that's fine. Let her have her acting or whatever she's doing. As far as Ronda though, I think that's funny. That's kind of the thing too. Like, I feel like if it were logical, she'd return. U.S. Olympian, 2-time Olympian. Like, it would make a lot of sense for her to fight at the White House. But she also was like, "Fuck no, I'm not fighting in the White House. I have no interest in fighting in the White House. I might fight again, not at the White House." So it's kind of funny. But yeah, I mean,
we pretty much know Kayla's probably gonna fight on that card, too.
Money talks. Money talks. If they offer $5 million, and if it's true, and it's such, this is such a big if. If it's true that Conor is negotiating with the Trump administration himself rather than the UFC to fight to the White House, then yeah, like these people are gonna make so much money. Like, yeah, Ronda would come back for 10 million, 20 million. Like, it's
Connor's
it's
like, I want the
government, dude.
Irish National Guard to present me.
Yeah, dude. I want them to introduce me as a Prime Minister McGregor. I need just you know, like that sort of vibe, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the White House thing is ridiculous, but the reality is, I do think Pereira Jones is, you know, I the more I think about it, the more I like it. But I also feel like that'd be giving such a cop out to John after ducking Tom Aspinall that I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to. He does not deserve to get to make a multi-million-dollar payday after destroying a division and fucking up so many fights.
I would say it stays on the Poetone conversation.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the winner of Aspinall gone for the White House?
I love it. I love it.
With Poetone in the mix.
I love it. I think heavyweight's in a weird spot right now where it's clear that like they don't really know what to do. That's why they went Cyril Gane, because like it was the easiest thing to do and they didn't really care. Like, oh, I mean, well, you know, like you could argue Jailton Almeida deserved it more, and you could Volkov definitely deserved it more, but you know, it's a rematch and he technically lost. So yeah, heavyweight's in a weird spot right now. I think they would go for it. I like it. I think, you know, Tom Aspinall said when asked about it, like, I would rugby tackle him from halfway across the cage. I don't think it'd be very interesting, him against Tom. Gone would be fun striking wise,
but Alex has a puncher's chance, so that's always the exciting.
Yeah, and that's one of those things too, where it's like, you know, you can't count this guy out anymore, dude. Like, so for
also,
that
we gotta
reason,
say too, dude, he's 38.
Yeah, he's 38.
like I think people aren't like the guy is 38 years old.
Time's ticking. He probably has less than 5 fights left in him,
if that. And granted, you could last longer at bigger weight classes, but even then, dude, I'm like, the fight miles from MMA, he can't fight short notice anymore. He's kind of learned his lesson on that. He probably can do, maybe in a year, he'll probably fight 1 to 2 times max from going on until he retires or, you know, steps away in whatever way he does.
Yeah.
Like, and also, dude, we don't know if this is, once again, his peak. Like, he might have had enough for this one, and this might be it. He might come back and fight his next fight and might not get it, dude, because we've seen this shit already.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up, this is kind of like, this might be his Izzy moment, like how Izzy knocked out Poetan. It almost feels like, as more time passes, I wonder how much of that was just Izzy having like the physical peak, or it was just the mental of like, I climbed this final hill. I don't know how much more.
He should have retired after that, right? He should have just been like, I got it back. I won
Hindsight's
MMA.
2020. I mean, he's fighting Sean Strickland next. I think everybody expected him to
quick turnaround though.
Quick turnaround, and Sean was the expected original opponent. But
it was supposed to be Dricus,
which, you know, and you know, who knows if he beats Dricus back then, because it was nearly beat Dricus whenever he fought him, you know, a year or two later. So
those are all big what ifs, right?
Besides
like,
the point, just to kind of reel it back in though, Pereira, who knows? Like it's a weird thing at his current age when guys get up there and light heavyweight and heavyweight, they tend to last longer. Yeah, but at 38 years old, with a lifetime of kickboxing, I don't know. I think he's
been knocked out. He's had some tough weight cuts.
I mean, we have less than
multiple injuries, dude. Call it as it is.
We got less than 5 fights, and I think the thing is too,
dude, scratch that. I think it's like 3.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I think it's like, I think that's the over under right there. Yeah. Over or under 3.
Yeah. I'll say this. I want to see him fight Tom Aspinall, not necessarily because I think he has a shot. I could give him like a 1. I'd give him a puncher's chance, like a 1 or 2 times out of 10. I think he beats Tom Aspinall. But you watch MMA for the 1 out of 10. You watch MMA to see a guy who started fighting like 4 years ago in the UFC become a 3-weight champion.
So give this man like 20%?
Yeah, something like that.
20
to 10, 20%. Yeah.
15?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, the more I think about it, like 15. Yeah, 15, somewhere around there. 17. I don't think I'm going to give him a good shot. I think he can, because I think anybody can win in MMA. We haven't even seen Tom Aspinall rocked by a heavyweight. So it's kind of one of those weird things where it's like we haven't seen Tom Aspinall have to deal with really anything. So I don't know. Like, I mean,
and he's been out for over a year now. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah. And Alex Pereira looks so good, but I don't know. And I think a big part of this too, I'll change my analysis after he fights Gane later this month. And I would say it'd be so MMA for him to lose to Gane. Like, I don't think it's Tom Aspinall, because I think Tom Aspinall is generationally good. We've seen that so far in his UFC run. But it'd be so MMA. Like, this guy he's been forced to sit out for, like, he's fought twice in 2 years. He's been out for over a year. He missed out on the John fight. He missed out on everything. It'd be so MMA karma for the gods to just immediately kick him when he's down and take that title away, too. Would it not? You know?
God. Injury.
Yep. Something just awful. But we're not that I wanted it to happen. So
no, of course not. We want a healthy, good, competitive fight.
Healthy, good, competitive Tommy Aspinall in the cage later this month. But we'll see what happens with Alex Poatan Bahia. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Alex Poatan Bahia. Because in that co-main event, though, more goal on the line. But Merab Dvalishvili, we're talking about Alex Poatan Bahia. Can he enter the all-time great arguments? It seems like we're there with Merab now. In case there were any doubts, man, defeats Corey Sandhagen by unanimous decision. Scorecards 49-45, 49-45, 49-46. I'll say I think the scoring here it was kind of a weird fight for various rounds. I thought Corey came out. I thought he actually had a very, very good first round. I think you could argue that he might have won round, I think it's either 4 or 5-2. I think it was round 4. But outside of the close rounds that he won, he largely got dominated. Round 2, he nearly got finished. Merab Dvalishvili, man, if he's not, he's go. Rest for 30 seconds. Go. And he just couldn't deal with it. Give me your thoughts on the fight, man.
I mean, dude, he's in all-time talks. I mean, he is, and I don't even think there's a question, especially because he's aiming. He already said, "Hey, I'm down to fight in December," which.
I mean, that would be ridiculous.
But he could, though. He could.
Yeah.
It sounds insane, but he could. And it wouldn't matter who the opponent is. And also, to top it off, he cleared a division after this fight. There's no other fights that I have interest in him fighting. And there's no one in a position or on a long enough win streak at bantamweight to even, pique my interest,
Yeah.
The next fight, it could be Piotr Jan, but it's like, he already beat the guy. 50-44 the guy, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's been long enough. You can do it, but I'm like, I mean, I guess if you're at rock bottom, he can only go up.
Yeah.
So there's always that. But I'm not quite sure if he beats him at this point. With everything he's done, and Merab looks better. He's getting better. He's looking more dangerous. He's more comfortable with his hands. I don't even know if I said it, but he's kind of unquestionably, I think he's the fighter of the year. Like, it's not even, there's no one else who comes close.
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, John Jones really is just a generationally great.
This fucking guy, but no, I mean it has to be Merab.
Sorry, I was doing the Dana Glaze impression. Yeah, it has to be Merab. I mean, 3 title defenses, maybe 4. If he fights again, it'd be ridiculous. I don't even know who they book him
and
against.
then the ridiculously long win streak that he's on too.
Yeah, who they if let's say he fights in December, let's give him that. Who do you think he fights?
Jan is the only option.
Jan. Yeah.
There's no other logical option.
They would give him Mario Bautista.
They could do Bautista. Isn't
or
Bautista scheduled?
Oh, that's a good question.
I thought Bautista might have been scheduled or booked.
If he's booked, it's not saying it on the UC. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my God, yeah, you're right. He's gonna be fighting Umar. That's right, Umar Nurmagomedov. That's funny.
I think that's probably the next opponent.
Yeah.
If they don't go to or maybe they're waiting for that fight to happen.
Dude, it's gonna be so funny when they give Umar another title shot. It's gonna be so funny, dude. I know that I'm the only person who cares.
If Bautista wins that, he definitely gets a title shot.
Oh, and he should. I mean, it'd be a ridiculous winning streak.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it has. I guess you're right. It'd have to be on.
At the same time, though, once again, though, I don't imagine him beating Bautista.
Yeah, I don't either.
Look at the rest of the division, dude. You got Umar, Song Yadong, Davidson. That's not gonna happen, even if he wins his next fight. Cheeto, who hasn't fought in I think over a year now. I'm into Hobby, who has a long road ahead of him. Cejudo, already took care of that.
Yeah.
David Martinez just broke into the rankings. Mateusz Oliveira, good, but not there yet. Rob Font, older cat. Don't imagine him fighting for a title. Mm-hmm. Kyler Phillips, no. Montel Jackson. I mean, if he beats Davidson, he'd be all the way up there.
That's
puts him in an interesting position. But even then, are you asking for that fight? And it's not like Merab's looking. He's already said he's not looking to move up in a weight class. I feel like that's his only other choice. If he beats another guy or two, genuinely, especially if Bautista doesn't win, I think he should move on. But he's not going to, according to him.
Yeah, and the reality is I don't think he'd actually be very. It's gonna sound crazy. I don't think he'd be that great at featherweight. I just don't think he's built for the weight class. I think bantamweight is clearly where he belongs. I think he loses to Volk. I think he might lose to Eloev. I don't think he becomes champion at 145. But
you think he loses to Diego and stuff like that?
I think he might be able to beat a guy like John. I think he probably beats a guy like John Silva. I think he probably beats Josh Emmett, Arnold Allen, guys like that. I don't think he beats the Ro Murphy or Mozart, Volk, guys like that. So top 5 guys.
The top 5 is where it gets shaky for you.
But I mean, the reality is he's so good he might but I just don't think he does.
I feel like he should consider it.
Yeah.
Especially if whoever his
But at a certain point, it's like, dude, you're winning so often and so easily. You might as well.
He might go on. Dude, he's going on a rematch potentially soon. Like his next fight might be Piotr, and then after that, if Bautista wins, it might be Umar.
Once you're
again.
into the rematch territory, it's like, well, fuck, dude, you might as well go ahead and try and.
Yeah, because they're not built. There's not enough content. There's no one next in line. There's not enough guys. And like I said, this weekend we're going to talk about it. And Montel Jackson's fighting Davison. If he doesn't win that, like,
yeah,
it stagnates the division a little bit.
Yeah.
And you got an old Davison holding down, what is it, 5 or 6 or whatever position?
Yeah, holding down number 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's kind of a weird spot for Merab, but yeah, a generationally great talent. And on the opposite end of it, I want to give him some praise to Corey. I thought he actually had about as great of a performance you could probably hope to have against his modern version of Merab Dvalishvili. Really,
he did everything he could. I don't think he could have done much better.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he performed did better than Sean, did better than Piotr. You know, arguable. Did better than Umar, probably not, but you get what I'm saying.
But as far as like people who he's fought recently,
yeah.
I mean, game
it tough out, won a round. I thought you could argue 1 or 2 rounds, but yeah,
might have tagged him late too.
Yep, exactly. I want to move on, dude. Yuri Prochazka, the samurai. I understand some people think the samurai gimmick is a little bit cringy. Is it?
I like it.
Yes, but has it worn on me? Absolutely, it's worn on me. Yuri Prochazka.
Wait, are you tired of it?
No. I'm saying like it's worn on me. Like it's grown on me. Like I'm saying in like a good way. I wasn't really a big fan of it at the start. I'm like, hey, it's a little bit corny. You're kind of a white guy from the Czech Republic, but now I'm kind of into it, you know, like because this is a guy like he lives a lifestyle. Like, do you see that video of him on Embedded, like running around the UCPI like courtyard with like he taped his mouth shut and he taped his like nose shut and then went for sprints?
No, but I've seen those videos of him punching trees and hitting rocks.
Yeah. Like... The one, oh my god, the bet. We could do like a countdown top 5 Yuri trading videos, but there's one, my favorite one is one where he's on the treadmill going back and he's like, and he's walking backwards on the treadmill, you know, like
oh my god.
What a demon, dude.
What a W. That's a W pull right there.
Yeah, and it's because of those skills that he was able to knock out Khalil Roundtree. A hell of a comeback on Saturday. Khalil, I wouldn't say cleanly, but I thought he took the first 2 rounds, like largely getting the better of the exchanges. And then Yuri just coming on that.
What a third
body
round.
work. The body work. Going to the body heavy, the knees, the shot. Love to see it. Ends up flattening him, though, with a big left hand. Dude, I mean,
he deaded the man.
He deaded the man. But did he really though? Did he really dead the man? I saw some people online being like, "Khalil just quit there, bro. He wasn't even knocked out cold." And I'm like, dude.
Did you see the amount of punch? Dude, they could have stopped that fight like way earlier.
They could have. He was taking some big shots. So,
but the thing is, Khalil was still throwing. But I mean, I wouldn't have been mad at a quicker stoppage there, if I'm being honest. But
yeah,
wow, dude. There was a moment there they had an exchange where they both elbowed each other. It was literally elbow. I think it was 3 elbows in a row.
Yeah,
it was fucking awesome. But I feel for Khalil, man. I gotta say, like, this is such a setback for him. He had like this reignited hunger in him. He really seemed like he wanted to be great.
Yeah.
It still is. You know, I'm sure he still wants to do big things and still chase the title after this fight. I'm not quite sure what the next opponent's going to be. I think they're going to try to probably give him a younger guy, up and comer, just because of kind of where he's at right now. Because he's like on a win-loss right now, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's another finish loss and a pretty bad one, man. He's taking a lot of damage in his 2 losses. The Poetan fight and this one, they're pretty rough. But I don't know. He's entertaining. He has value. No matter what, I hope my boy's getting paid. I hope he gets to continue to get paid well, because he is. Dude, he's been in some fun ass shit lately. Like his last few fights, man. Like the Khalil Roundtree run.
The Khalil Roundtree arc has been insane.
The whole Roundtree experience has been such a treat, man.
Dude, I mean, going back to like the Ultimate Fighter, whenever he was just so raw and like he was knocking out something, like he knocked out this guy like. So the UFC liked him, right? It's kind of funny going back to Tough. The UFC liked him, but they knew like he had a lot of work to do. He lost to Andrew Sanchez like 30-20 forward in the finale. He lost to Tyson Pedro, and they brought him this guy Daniel Jolly. Like this motherfucker Daniel Jolly was the most gimme fight of all time in the history of gimme fights, and then Khalil just murked him and never looked back. And then like like he killed him in like 30 seconds.
What was Khalil like 3-1 before he got on Tough?
He was 4-0. He was 4-0. He lost a fight on Tough, but then they ended up bringing him back after an injury. He won another fight by knockout, makes it to the finale, gets just annihilated. And it's funny, dude. Remember when Khalil was known back in the day for exclusively this? Whenever he was losing to Andrew Sanchez, getting 10-8 every round in the wrestling, his mom yelled at him for like support. He was like, "Shut up, mom!" Like that was literally like
I remember that
clip went viral back in the day. And then but then he got on the winning streak and he just never looked back, dude. But even then, in 2021, he made the jump from good fun action guy to legitimate top 5 contender.
Bangkok Roundtree, dude.
Bangkok Roundtree. And if he had a little bit more cardio, he wins this fight.
Trained to Busan.
Yes. I mean, just incredible stuff, man. On the other side of Yuri, does he deserve a title shot? Probably not. It has to be Carlos Oliveira.
If we're a real sport, man, I said it last week, it should be Oliveira.
Yes. And Yuri, he's on a nice run, but it's still only 2 wins in a row,
and he's lost to the champ twice.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you do with him? Does he fight Ankh, or does he?
You fight, dude. He fights Ankh. They had beef.
Or does he wait and
wait
for a title shot?
No. You have him fight Ankh. This is a guy that they had beef. He hates Ankh so much he was crying after watching Alex Pereira win. And you could argue is the respect factor, but also the respect he has for Pereira, but also he really hates Ankalaev. Everybody hates Ankalaev too, dude. I've never seen Ankalaev, dude. I've never seen people shut on a guy this hard in a loss in a while, dude. And the way they're dude, yeah, he shouldn't have talked shit to Alex before the fight.
Dude,
I'm dude, every MMA fighter.
We were talking about Dricus getting ran over and it just being one of the worst performances by a champion in the history.
Yeah,
this is right up there.
Oh yeah, this is.
But what's worse, getting dominated for 5 rounds and losing decisively, and it seeming what else could you possibly do?
Yep.
Or just getting blown out of there in the minute of the first round.
Yeah, exactly. I'd probably
pick your poison, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're both awful. Yeah, man. As far as Yuri goes, he shouldn't get a title shot. Book him against Ankh. Book Ankh against Yuri, and then Alex against Carlos. That's the easiest thing you could do if you're really not trying to move up to heavyweight. If you're moving up to heavyweight, then just run a Yuri Ankh interim. Or not Yuri Ankh interim, excuse me. Yuri Carlos interim, excuse me. Yeah. I think we should move one down. Yusuf Salal. I actually really expected this fight to be kind of a ho-hum, kind of a, clean striking, stay out of the big right, that sort of fight. Instead, Yusuf Salal just got him down and immediately submitted him in. Give me your thoughts on that one. I was really impressed.
I mean, it's a letdown for Emmett. I thought this is actually one of my scariest fights to pick just because Emmett always has that fucking power.
Yeah.
And also, I was listening to the Jackson podcast on the way here, and TJ was in his corner. He was talking about that. He was talking about all the stuff they worked on and how they were kind of surprised that it ended up being an armbar submission because I don't think Yusuf has any other armbar submission. They were kind of more ready for the back take to get kind of a choke like that, and they worked on that quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So when he transitioned to armbar in that exchange, they were kind of oh fuck, and made some mistakes. TJ highlighted them. It is what it is. He tabbed Josh. I make a quick turnaround. He can fight by December and try to get one in there.
Yeah.
But a W1 for Zalal. I mean, dude, what a career turnaround. From not being in the UFC to getting back in, getting on the win streak. Potentially fighting for. I mean, I'm not gonna say he's potentially fighting for a title, but pushing himself towards a position to be in the title conversation and title mix. It's this has been a fun story in the 45 division right now.
Yeah.
Kind of sad that Ilya's not here anymore, right? Because that would be an interesting storyline if that fight did come.
If it could work all the way back,
to that fight, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay it down there for the people. He got released following a draw with Damon Blackshear back in August of 2022. Since then, he's won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights in a row. Billy Q in there, Jack Shore, Calvin Kattar, Josh Emmett, a lot of good names. Like you said, one of the more fun stories, one of the more underrated stories of 145, I think. Even this win, I feel like it was a big win. It got the highlight. He got kind of this big statement finish win he's been needing, but I didn't feel like it was really kind of getting the buzz online that I'd kind of hoped. So I don't know.
I mean, it is 4-year-old Emmett. He is on a losing streak.
That's true.
And Yusuf I think what he needs to fight one of these younger guys at 45 and get get that big signature win because he has fought the older end of 45 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, TJ dropped this. He said they're trying to figure out what the next opponent's going to be and all that. Yeah. A name he threw out there, and I want to get your opinion on this. He said Patricio Pitbull versus Josh Emmett. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I'm ready to go. I'm ready. I'm rock hard with emotion right now, thinking about a Josh Emmett Patricio Pitbull fight.
2 nukes in there, just ready to just blow.
Yeah, rock hard with because I mean, look, I'm a fan of. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. I mean, I can't believe that. First of all, that's a fight that I still think Patricio Pitbull has something to offer. I think everybody wrote him off after that first loss. And I feel like once he came back for the second fight and he got the win, because it wasn't like just this barn burner, like everybody just didn't acknowledge it. So I think Patricio Pitbull should take that fight. I think he probably wins that fight. And boom, he's number 8.
They're close in age too.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
It works perfectly, man. I'm telling you. I think they're trying to embarrass these Bellator guys. Like, can we say that now at this point? Like, they're trying to.
At times they try. I think at times they do, and at times they don't.
All right. Well, anyways. That's my.
I don't know if they're embarrassed. I don't think they know. I don't know.
I don't think they're trying to do it for MVP, but a lot of those guys, MVP for a reason.
I don't know. They know. I don't think they know what to do with
label.
These guys. I think that's probably the better way to put it.
All right, fair enough.
In my opinion.
Speaking of guys, I don't know what to do with Joe Pyfer.
Body cam off, or what did he say?
Dude, yeah, he said he wants his new nickname to be No Body Cam.
No,
Joe No Body Cam Pyfer.
That's insane.
So anyways, he wins by face crank in the second round. Actually, surprisingly weird. I mean, surprisingly weird. He didn't really face. Surprisingly impressive performance for Joe Pyfer. Not really in the way that like he went out there and dominated. Because actually in round 1, he got taken down. And Abus, who just comes out like a bat out of hell for the first 5 minutes, he got him down and he was doing a lot. But then Joe Pyfer, and he impressed me because in that second round, man, he did not wing the shots. He went out there. He stayed calm, and he went out there and got the submission win. Didn't you see that coming? Give me your thoughts.
I think for Joe, it's all here, dude.
Yeah,
it's all mental. I think it's all mental for him.
In a lot of ways, yeah.
For him to perform, it's all in his head.
Yeah.
And definitely. He even said it himself. He's like, I don't know what was wrong with me, man. Like I was just there, but then once I started getting fucked up a little bit, I kind of woke up.
He literally said like I needed to get my ass beat in that first round to wake up, And I was like, oh, that's like, you know what? Good for you, Joe Pyfer, for kind of like identifying that you were kind of slow, and you know what? He didn't let that stop him. This is a fight that I think if it happened 2 years ago, he loses. I'll say that.
I will say though, this was a fight that he was expected to win.
That's another part.
Because he fought a guy who looks like I said, dude. If Albus had like 3 rounds of gas, like we're talking about a very interesting prospect here.
Yeah.
But the fact that he can't last for several rounds and have like decent output and perform how he can in the first is just tragic. Because outside of that, once it's out of the first round and maybe you put a pace on the guy, more likely than not, a high level guy's going to get him out of there. Maybe even in the first. For Joe, though, dude, the thing is he needs to fight some of these young guys, get some big wins under his belt now. I think he just broke into the bottom end of the rankings. Like several, Marvin Vettori, Paulo Costa, believe it or not, those are guys all at the end of 85 right now. They're potential matchups. And those are all hard fights. Because I still don't know, like, we haven't had another Hermanson type matchup for Joe. Like, I'm not quite sure how he's going to perform still against some of the vets, guys who've been around the game for a while, who know how to fight 3-5 rounds, and not even just that, but know how to take rounds, know how to win fights in other ways outside of just looking for those big finishes.
Yeah, and he still has time to develop, and I liked seeing this fight. I'm glad to acknowledge the fact that like he was expected to win this fight. Like he was a very heavy favorite, and the fact that he nearly lost in that first was kind of the more surprising thing. But look, dude, when you're a young prospect like this, you're gonna have fights like this, and it's a fight where, like I said, 2 years ago, maybe he loses this one. He goes down in that first round, he gets beat up, and he just can't rebound. But he found a way to go out there and get the job done. So good for him. We'll move down to the prelims. Man, outside about Gauthier, Tristan Vines, I said in the main event that Magomed Ankalaev looked almost afraid of Alex Pereira. Tristan Vines was like, it was like he was fighting Freddy Krueger out there.
Could you blame him though?
No, I don't. Man, Gauthier is basically just modern Melvin Manoff. Like the guy's just built like he's
23.
Yeah, he's peeled out of his tree. He's explosive. Like
we've seen no adversity yet, and he hasn't faced the best competition either. Let's call it.
No.
But he's doing what he has to do as a high level prospect against this kind of talent.
He went in there as a minus 4,000 favorite or some shit,
and he deserved every bit of that.
Which is exactly what I'm saying, dude. And Tristan Vines 10-3. The record's not crazy, but like
those 3 losses were in the first round knockouts. Just so you know.
That's fair enough. But yeah, it's just crazy to me. Like, dude, like that man was running for his life in there. So not that I blame him.
He circled. I mean, the guy knew, he's like, I can't afford to get
Yeah.
touched, but it didn't
And
matter because when he did, it was done.
Yeah, I got knocked out cold.
Do you give this guy? Look, for me personally, I always like giving guys that in between fight, making them fight the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
My opinion, Brad Tavares, RoboCop, those kind of.
It's funny. I mean, he opened up the main card. I think you have him fight Abus Magomedov.
He wins that one. That's not even one I would want to run. I don't even think there's
Really.
Much
You
of a
don't
point.
even think there's much interest.
There's not much of a point to it. He's gonna do what he did again. I mean, he could because Abus has
has a great first round gas tank, heavy hands, good on the mat. You know, that's what I'm kind of my thought process is, because like he's an in between guy. They fought on the same card. They're going to be in a similar schedule.
You could do that, or you just go ranked and you give him.
Yeah.
Whoever,
because it's funny you brought up Brad Tavares. I don't have any interest in seeing him against Brad Tavares.
I always say Brad because he's the
quintessential.
He's the tweener guy right there holding it. I think he's booked, but the Iron Turtle, that would have been another one. Super durable.
I would like that.
Good for three. Good for 3 rounds. He can. He has a ground game. He's good. He's heavy on top. Like that's a legitimate hard fight for any young and upcoming talent.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I'm saying. Like you have to give him that test fight. Whoever that is, I'm not sure, dude. Roman Delice even. I mean, I know this is getting into hard territory, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I think you should have that intermediate fight of a Brad Tavares.
Yeah, I mean,
Park. You know,
I don't think it's that crazy because he's shown that he's so far above the Dana White Contender Series guys.
But if he,
you know what I mean?
But you know what I mean, though. If he beats that, like a Park, a Brad Tavares, you feel more than comfortable being like, okay, I can give this guy the opening slot in that main event against a Roman Delice, and I know he's not going to lay an egg.
I agree with you.
Or I can main event him with Paulo Costa in the Apex or Brazil or wherever it may be, you know?
Fuck me, dude. Ottawa Gauthier versus Paulo Costa. Just
I do that.
How about Gauthier versus Joe Pyfer? How about that? How about Gauthier versus? There's so many good fights. But yeah, I like the thought process. I agree with you there.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I like having that in between and all that, because they don't know yet if they can. Because what if he does fight Roman and Roman just, and it's not his fight style, but he just gets him down for 3 rounds and lays on top of him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like that's what you don't want.
Yeah.
You want someone who can draw him out for a few rounds and see what he can do. And granted, he might be so good, he blasts Park and Brad Tavares out of there in the first round. Possibility. At which point you're like, okay, we can book him against anybody in the ranked 185 division, and we have no concerns about his performance and what he can do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Dude, I'm telling you, the UFC should hire me for talent development, man. I feel like I pride myself in being able to develop these fighters, dude.
I agree. Angel. I don't know why we don't have you running the shit, man.
They should, bro. They should.
Jokes aside, man. Moving down. Daniel Santos defeating Yu Jung Sang. I don't have too many thoughts. Solid performance there. But I want to talk about this one. Jacob Wikilex, apologize. KSW guy.
Jakob.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Bro.
That's right. Yeah, Jakob. Apologies. Defeating Patchy Mix by split decision. I'll say up front, I did think that Patchy Mix deserved the nod. I'll also say that this was not a robbery and this was not a... Patchy Mix fights like he's fucking Chris Weidman, modern Chris Weidman. I've been trying to think about it all week. The kind of comparison I can make, he fights like he's he's underwater, like he's years past his prime, like he's gone through some sort of horrific accident like Chris Weidman, or he's like 7,000 years old like Tony Ferguson. I've never seen anything like this in my entire time watching MMA. Have you?
It's sad. Dude, once again, I've listened to a few podcasts leading up to this talking about Patchy Mix and his performance and all that. Number of thoughts that I want to kind of put out there for you, because this is going to be a relatively big topic for us outside of the main card. But TJ talked about fight week. They were talking about this fight. They were recapping. He brought up the fact that Patchy cuts a lot of weight. Mm-hmm. He said that at the ceremonial weigh-ins, like Patchy was like laying down in the back because he was still like so like worn out from cutting weight. Felt like shit. I think he even threw up. Like just didn't seem like he was having a good time. And he's like, by that point, dude, by the time you've already rehydrated and cutting weight, you should be feeling better and you should be kind of in a decent spot. On Morning Combat, Luke made a good point. He was like, dude, ever since he fought that first fight in the PFL, that he kind of looked like this, where it didn't seem good and he didn't seem like the Patchy Mix of old. Like he's like, I'm not quite sure what's wrong. He's like, I'm not. He's like, I'm not. I don't know if it's the stage. He's like, I don't think it is. He's like, there might be some hidden injury. There has to be something else going on.
Dude, I mean, he just turned 32. Like, he just turned 32. That's not that old.
And like Luke said, this is a guy who at one point he would take motherfuckers down, backpack them, and submit him. Like, that was his thing. This is a guy who got a 1-round knee against
the
Rufian
step
Stotts.
in against Stotts. You know, like the domination of Horiguchi, and like people will
and
say,
that's legitimate. That's two legitimate UFC talented fighters right there who got legitimate wins.
Yeah, people will talk about how like he's not. You know, like he's just not that caliber. Bellator guys just aren't good. Like, dude, like no, we saw him beat like guys who were in the UFC and really good.
Like something is wrong.
Yeah,
it's either a hidden injury or he's cutting way too much weight. Something's wrong in his preparation. The lights are getting to him still. Yeah. There has to be something else that is off because he's not fighting like the guy in the tournament prior to his first matchup in the PFL. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's
everything looks off.
And you could argue it started with a Magomed Ankalaev fight, but dude, like that was a disappointing performance. He looks like he's underwater here. Like he doesn't look like the same human being. Like it's, and like I said, I thought at first I could excuse the Mario Bautista one because like, dude, it's your debut, big
deer
lights,
yeah,
like it looked like deer in headlights because it didn't even go for a takedown. This one, it's like, dude, like he just looked slow and he looked like everything that he did was stuff like, at least in the case of this fight, he was doing that sort of stuff in Bellator. He was going for the takedowns, he was getting him down, he was trying to get in close, but like it was just half as good. You know what I mean? Like it's like the Monstars took his talent, dude. Like they just flipped the switch and he's gone. I can't explain it. Regardless, though, we'll see what he does. I mean, this is not the worst loss in the world, and I thought he won, and so did most people on MMA decisions, but it wasn't. You know, even if he were to win this one, it's not what you want. So we'll move down. Edmund Shabazian, how about this kid, man? On the back track, man. 27 years old. Now he's won 3 fights in a row. It feels crazy after all the shit that Edmund Shabazian's gone through, but 3 wins in a row. Dylan Budka, Andre Petrosky, and then Andre Muniz. Not the greatest of comp, but that's enough to like. He might get like a just outside the top 15 guy next, and he would deserve it, honestly.
Yeah, no, definitely. By the way, also, I mean, did you see he looks like a legit 85er now.
He does.
Like he is settled into his body. His body's matured. Like he was 85, you know, like he's always been at 85 his whole time in the UFC. And he looked good, but now, dude, he looks beefy. Like he looks legit 185
He looks like
pounds.
a grown man. Like whenever he debuted in the UFC back in 2019, I look back at it and I'm like, God, he really was a kid back then. You know, like now he's 27. He looks like he's going into a body. He's going into the weight class.
It looks like he's in the proper camp. He's far from like kind of where he was projected as a prospect, right?
Yeah.
Still, I'd say. But the outlook looks promising with what he has now.
Yeah. I agree. I still think there's some potential there because he's still only 27. You know, like I think that's the crazy thing.
I feel like you continue to slow roll it, man. You continue to work with this Eric Nixon camp and them out there at Extreme Couture and like just continue to develop this because you guys got plenty of time. It's the 85 division. And it's gonna, I mean, dude, here in a few years, like it sounds crazy, but believe it or not, like already, like soon, dude, we're not that far away from Robert Whittaker, Israel Adesanya being gone, from Paulo Costa even being gone from this promotion, dude. Even Chimaev, I don't even think we're gonna have that much longer. Dricus will be around for a few more years, but not as, you know, by the time Edmonds in his early going, you know, into like once he's like 31, 32. I'm not quite sure how, like, if Dricus will still be around even by then. So the landscape of 85 will look different whenever I imagine Edmund peaks or is in his 30s, potentially fighting higher ranked 85ers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it. They don't need to fast track him. I said, like, he could get a top 15, not top 15, just outside of the top 15 next. I could see him getting a top 15 if, like, somebody falls out over the next few weeks and they're like, hey, man, want to fight this guy who's ranked 14 or 13 or whatever. I don't think they should, though. I think they should slow roll him, take all that time you need. And, there's no reason to rush this kid at this point. He's just now getting back, so we'll see what happens. Nonetheless, I think we'll go rapid fire through the rest of these prelims. Punawele Serrano defeating Nikolaev Verdetunov.
He looked good.
He did look good at 170. Giannis Santos, whose opponent's the 4th in a row that missed weight?
Dude, what the fuck?
This woman, man. This woman's going through it and going through the ringer, man. Yana Santos, only 35 years old. Seems crazy to me. I feel like she's been around for like my entire life.
And dude, she's taking breaks in there too because she had her kid. She took a whole 2-year break.
Yeah.
And like
crazy.
She had a 3-fight win streak.
Yeah, Misha Tate, Chelsea Chandler, Macy Chiasson. That's pretty solid.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the division is
awful, but
hey, wins are wins, honey. Like I get it.
Yeah. Fire Basharat defeating Chris Gutierrez.
Dude, she's a parent. She has a whole ass husband.
Yeah, dude, she's got them head of hammer at home. You know,
the Santos at home.
Yeah. Fari Basharat defeating Chris Gutierrez, solid win there.
We look good, yeah.
Ramis Ramaj submitting Austin Vanderford. Austin Vanderford looking good, but then got caught, man. Can't be playing around in that guard. I can't be playing around with Ramis Ramaj, bro. Come on. And then Veronica Hart defeating Brogan Walker. That was probably like the most predictable result of the week for me.
Yeah.
I say no offense to Brogan Walker. She just probably shouldn't be in the UFC.
5-1 on her big return. Obviously, it's not like you said, the competition not the most impressive, but for Veronica and her development, I mean, this is big.
Yeah, it is. Good for her.
Curious to see where she peaks out at.
Yeah. Anyways, man, I think we should move on because we do have UFC Rio going down this Saturday night from the Pharmacy Arena in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, October 11th. Charles Do Bronx Oliveira will return to the cage.
Do Bronx
has not been seen since his loss to Ilia Topuria in June, lost by knockout in a bid for the UFC lightweight title. No shame there. Still an all-time great. Taking on Mateusz Gamrot. Coming here on short notice, 34 years old. The gamer trying to get a title shot. He's won 4 of his last 5. Granted, some of the names, Jalen Turner, who's in the middle of a losing streak. Rafael Fiziev in the middle of a losing streak. Rafael dos Anjos, who's 1,000 years old and also in the middle of a losing streak. He did lose to Dan Hooker and then Ludwig Klein. That's what those last 5 fights look like. According to the current odds from our friends over BetMGM, -110s across the board. It is an even pick'em fight. Angel, give me your thoughts, man.
I mean, as far as the lines, I think that's fair. Obviously, for Gamrot, I was about to call him Rebecca, wrong Polish fighter. For Gamrot, short notice, right? Obviously, he's got the wins. But he stays in pretty good fight shape. I think he had been eyeing. He's been eyeing for a fight. Like this guy wants a title. He's hungry for it. Like credit to him. For Charles, I mean, he just got knocked out not that long ago. This feels still like a quick turnaround for me. I felt like Charles should have still taken. I mean, if he did want to come back, dude, December. Like late next year. That was my personal opinion. He's gonna turn 36 next month. Call it as it is. The guy has fight miles. He's provided everything and more to the promotion. He's an all-time great at 55, at least a top 5 all time in my opinion. Look, could he do it? I think he can. Look, I'm not gonna count this guy out because that's literally been the Oliveira story there for a while. Like, count him out. He'll get through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't think he'd beat Dustin Poirier at the time. I didn't think he'd beat Justin Gaethje at the time. But you know something? He did that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he could just easily bounce back from that horrific loss because it was bad, man. He put him out cold. And credit to Oliveira, he went for it. You know what I mean? Like if he was going to beat Ilia Topuria, he was going to have to go for it that way. And I think he had the right approach. Obviously at his demise. But look, he's fighting in Brazil. The guy's coming in on short notice. He's fighting a guy who's primarily a wrestler, not necessarily a striking threat. And even on the ground, he's more of a controlling kind of guy, not necessarily looking so much for those submissions. I mentioned several times off the show, Oliveira obviously good off his back, which is really irrelevant for most guys, but I think for Oliveira, you can actually give him that in this instance. So I think he has a decent chance. I think it's legitimately a pick and fight. Like, I don't think you can feel bad going Gamrot. You can feel bad going Oliveira.
Yeah. Well, my official prediction, I'm going Oliveira. I can't quit that, man. No, jokes aside, I just think when it comes to this fight, man, I think 2 grapplers. I think Oliveira has more ways to win on the feet. I think he has more 5-round experience. I think he has more top-level experience. He's coming off the brutal knockout in June. Would have liked to see him take more time? Yeah. Gamrot's not really a knockout threat traditionally in that sort of way, though. Could he get a finish? Maybe, but I don't see it happening. I see Charles Oliveira probably winning by decision. Maybe 3 rounds to 2, 4 rounds to 1. I think it's going to be Gamrot's going to have some success, especially taking him down, but throwing yourself into some, bad positions there too. So, but maybe Gamrot, maybe you can put the paces to him. He's a younger guy. Technically, he's only like a year or 2 younger, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you said, I don't think you can go wrong here picking, but I'm going to pick Charles Do Bronx Oliveira. But nonetheless, that common event, you brought it up earlier when we were talking about the bantamweight division, but Davison Figueiredo, still number 5 in the division. He's lost a couple. Former flyweight champion. Came in really hot. Looked like he might probably fight for the title. Then he lost to Peter Yan. Then he had a injury against Corey Sandhagen. Taking on Montel Jackson, ranked 15, but that doesn't really tell the whole story. He won 6 in a row. The names are the most impressive, but he's looked pretty dominant.
The Damon Blackshear fight was good, though.
The Damon Blackshear one was good. He beat Daniel Marcos, who's pretty solid too. For the most part, kind of like lower tier, non-ranked guys. Biggest fight of his life, though, for being honest about it. Who do you got here, man?
I'm conflicted, man, because the way Figgy looked, it looked like it was done.
Oh, yeah.
In his last fight, he looked horrific. He looked like, for one, he looked like shit. Like, physically, it looked like shit.
Yeah.
And then the performance was shit to top it off. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I feel like rarely I'll say a fighter looks like shit. He looked like dog shit.
Yeah, he looked bad.
And he's a 37-year-old bantamweight. He's going on 38. He's fighting a young cat, 15-2, coming up, decently well-rounded. Montel Jackson has been around the UFC now like a decent while. Like he's been building up this win streak pretty quietly, and he's getting this big jump up of competition. Look, if Davison is conditioning and in health is back to where he was when he transitioned to bantamweight, look, I would feel pretty comfortable picking him here. But the way he looked in his last fight, it's so off-putting to me that I'm not sure if this is like the road we're gonna go down of. If he does turn around in this fight and does look good for him, because that gives me some hope and some life for his future in this division. Just at this time, I don't think I can comfortably pick Figgy after that.
He looked awful, and let's be fair. He said he had an injury heading into that fight, and then he had obviously the injury happen during the fight. So you can take with that what you will, but the reality is, I'm agreeing with you. He's a 37-year-old bantamweight who's had a lot of fight miles. He's still not even very big for this division. Weight wise, yeah. Height wise, reach wise, no. Montel Jackson, I mean, I think he's going to go out there and put the paces on him and probably pull off a decision win. I don't think he's going to finish him, but I think he's going to go out there and put on a solid performance nonetheless.
By the way, this next fight, I mean, this is almost like this could almost be a fucking pay-per-view main card, dude. This next fight,
that's pushing it a little, but the top 3 are solid.
I mean, Mario Pinto but that totally seems like a fight they would put on the main card too these days.
That's true, yeah.
But this fight gives you an MMA boner.
Luque versus Alvarez is insane.
Joel Alvarez debuted at 170, long time.
We've been talking about this for like 5 years now. We're like, once this guy finally moves up to 170, he's gonna be a real.
Well,
problem.
If 165 existed,
man, I don't even think, dude, he's so fucking big. He doesn't need 165.
I feel like he could have fought at 165 though the division did exist.
Oh no, I mean he could have. I don't think he needs to though. I think he's
I'm curious to see how he does look at 170.
He's a big man. But yeah, I love that fight. It's funny you joked about it, but I don't even hate Denise versus Pinto. I think
that's a banger.
That's a fun fight at heavyweight. We don't really know how far either one of these guys are going to go.
That's a heavyweight banger, dude. That's MMA boner right there.
It is MMA boner. Ricardo Ramos, Khan Alfie should be.
Is that another Courtside Soundoff shirt right there next to DTF?
MMA boner.
MMA boner and down to fight.
I think so. I think that's it. Yeah.
God, our merch would be so fire.
Lucas Almeida, Michael Laswell. Jeff Figueroa, Clayton Carpenter, Vitor Vitrino, Thomas Peterson should be something.
That seems like the most LFA fight ever.
I was literally about to say that, dude. That's some shit that you saw on like LFA 87.
Say CFC.
Like, yeah, dude. We see CM Punk on commentary, bro. That's what that should be. Beatriz Mesquita taking on Irene Axina. Irene Axina was like kid who came in. I say kid. I'm pretty sure she might be older than me. Chick who came in and she was like, she had a lot of hype and then ended up doing really nothing, the Russian Ronda. So maybe she'll come out here and not have a good performance. But yeah, taking on the undefeated Beatriz, who's kind of, seems like she's great on the mat. We know the story with her, so should be interesting. Lucas Rocha down to flyweight, taking on Stuart Nicole. I like that. How about Walker versus Usman, Angel? Are you really excited?
I already saw the memes, dude.
Yeah, Walter Walker, Mo Usman.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Legitimately, can Walter Walker continue that spree of submissions?
Can he? It's a good question.
Or is Muhammad Usman gonna finally put an end to that?
Mm-hmm. We'll see, man. We'll see. How about this one? Julia Polisari taking on Karolina Kokovic. I can admit, I thought Karolina was already released. She lost 2 in a row. She did have that run there where she won 5 in a row and like low key was kind of working herself into like a really big fight. And then she lost 2 in a row, and now she's back at 39. So we'll see what she does.
Dude, she turns 40 next week. Like I'm not even an exact like a week from today.
Brutal.
Her birthday's the 15th.
Yeah. Damn, dude, Jesus.
I mean, this should be her last fight. She doesn't need to fight anymore. I'm not even saying it in the performance way, but it's like,
yeah, like what are you doing it for? You
You know,
you had that run where she won 5 in a row, and like I bought into the argument that like maybe she's having like an old kind of Glover Teixeira type shit where like,
but it had to be that.
yeah, like she had to be that, and she lost. So,
And it might become 3 in a row here.
yeah,
I mean,
3
she
in a
could.
row.
I mean, she could win. Here.
She could win this fight.
But still, though,
I don't know if she will, but yeah, I mean, whatever. It is what it is. That's all for UFC Rio, though, man. That's all for UFC Rio.
it's a good card.
it's
I
a good
feel like
card.
the Brazil card's always put out, and it's because of the Brazilian talent.
Yep.
By the way, I just saw that we lost Monfim Randy Brown on this. I didn't even know that.
I don't know that either.
No, that's a lot. That sucks.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Last thing. Actually, I guess we have 2 pieces of news. So we're both gonna be very, very quick, so we got to get out of here. But Ilya Gaethje rumored to headline that first UFC Paramount show. It seems like a little bit of a squash match, but
Fucking horrific.
yeah, I mean,
They folded, bro. They folded the Gaethje. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, he said if they don't give him a title shot, he's gonna retire, and they were like, I mean, I guess so. I guess we'll give you a title shot, and it's just, man. And I love, and dude, it's awful that like they're making me feel this way about Justin Gaethje. I love Justin.
Is
Gaethje.
Dan Hooker scheduled? Did they schedule him against?
No.
So
Not to my
are we
knowledge.
gonna get Dan Hooker, Max Holloway?
I'm saying that's the one. Oh wait, no! Oh my God, they booked Dan against Arman.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
what it was. Dan Arman in Qatar, November 22nd.
You could do that, or you could just give the guy a title shot, and you
Yeah.
could have done Dan Hooker versus Max Holloway,
Yeah, which I would
which
like,
that would have been MMA boner.
and let Justin Gaethje retire because, like, dude, like you beat Fiziev, awesome. You lost to Holloway. You beat Poirier. You beat Fiziev. You lost to Oliveira. You beat Chandler. You lost to Khabib. You've had 3 title fights. You've lost them all. Can we stop doing this?
Fourth time is probably not going to be the charm, and
No,
it's going to
probably
probably be another finish.
Probably. But I will say, if you're UFC and Paramount, there aren't much bigger fights.
I mean,
you
it's a
can make
good
than this.
fight,
Yeah,
but
like
it's not what the division needs to
Yeah,
continue and move
yeah.
forward. What we needed was for Arman to fight for the title so we can finally get some closure on whether he's going to win the fight or not and
Yeah.
be champion at 155.
exactly.
And then that way we would have had the perfect opening for Dan Hooker versus Max Holloway.
Yeah,
You could have done Dan Hooker Gaethje. Dude,
you could have.
that would have been, oh my God, MMA boner again.
MMA boner again. MMA boner. Anyways, man, that's all for. Actually, there was one other thing. Smashing Machine. We have not seen it. I said last week we are gonna review it. We're gonna review next week.
We're gonna find a time. We're gonna see.
Find a time. It is kind of bombing. Not critically. Critically, it's getting good reviews. Commercially, it's not doing very, very well. So go watch it if you're an MMA fan. I've heard it's very, very good. But that's all for us, man. Anything else you want to go ahead and talk about? Tell the people before we bounce out of here.
No, man, just excited to come back, recap. Obviously, we're blessed this week with another good card, in my opinion. I don't even know what's after this. What's after this? Do you know off the top of your dome?
Is it? Oh my God! It just slipped my mind, dude. Oh fuck!
I have it pulled up.
The
Ritter Allen is what we come back to. So
Yep.
that'll be fun to preview.
That's a great fight, and then a lot of really fun undercard fights.
Cheeto
there.
coming back on that after a year.
Holland, Malott, Ferro, Jazz Davicius,
Davy Grant, Charles Jourdain.
Favola, Nelson should be crazy. There's a lot of fun fights on here. I like this card.
So yeah,
And then we have a paper after that. So yeah, it's a very stacked October. So should be fun.
stat to the tits, boys.
Stacked to the tits. Anyway, so if you guys like this episode, I'm Matt, Josh Soundoff on Twitter. He's the main man, Angel Ortega _01 out on Twitter. If you guys like the show, at Courtside Soundoff for all the things related to it on Twitter. I'm out. Peace.